to how to come out on top. This is the Salutations season, episode 3. This is the show that gently flings festive fun in your face. I must confess, my jingle bells are polished and primed and all set to jingle and perhaps jangle. I'm Yana, and some say I'm a dead ringer for a young Bing Crosby. Not Bill, Bing. It's a Christmas reference. Anyway, how have you been keeping? Cramming in all those urgent jobs and chores that you absolutely must finish by December 24th. What the actual, as they say in Australia. It's the belief that we turn into a pumpkin at midnight on the 24th of December. Well, I just usually turn into a hugger, and that's just my way. Well, look, here we are to relieve the pressure, to answer those creative queries that keep us tossing and turning at night. We're here to jostle with the notion of what the, crackling to do next and other unanswerable questions. Today's about giving you the juice to put one foot in front of the other, to pick up the pace and give it your all to leap over that final hurdle, to cross the finish line of 20 poopy without catching your sneaker on the top of the way over and slamming your face into the track and right in front of that guy that you fancy in the 8th grade. This is where we tackle tickling creative quandaries. And with that said, we're also here to do what we came to do. To inspire you to be creative, to keep strong, to keep pushing through all the lockdowns, lockups, and even lock-ins wherever you may be in the world. Coming up, a woman who's the archetypal symphony of tap dance and freight train, blancmange and blockbuster. Get your quill and parchment. Trust me, you'll not want to miss this. You'll need to take notes. Meanwhile, thank you so much for your messages last week. It was a super hit, incredible Curtin Kansley event. They were wonderful, exceptional. So like, comment, subscribe. Just let us know you're here and listening, okay? So look, what I suggest is make sure that you, on Christmas Day, light a scented candle, gather the family, and watch all of 2020's how-tos back to back, just on your phone. It's a really Christmassy thing to do. Now, if you're feeling like you missed out on a good old networking opportunity, let's get the mulled wine flowing. I'm holding a Christmas Spark Hub to celebrate the end of the year. Online, deets to be announced. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to my exquisite guest, the perfect purveyor of publicity, the mind-boggling talent of some of the world's biggest unscripted shows. She works with the infamous on-screen faces on shows like Bachelor Franchise, The Masked Singer, Who Do You Think You Are, and many, many more. She's Kiwi. She's a Kiwi with clout. Say that after a few wines. It's Warner Brothers Publicity and Communications Manager, Megan Stuart, everyone.
Wow, what an intro.
Hi, Megan.
Hello. Love that.
What did you think? Did I big you up enough? I mean, like...
Yeah, I feel like I've got a lot to live up to.
Yeah, don't mess it up, Megan, okay? Look, don't worry. This is going to be the best time of your life.
I can imagine that.
You don't look convinced. You're in good hands, darling. We've got you, haven't we? Haven't we, my lovely viewers, my friends out there? We've got her. Megan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited to be a part of it. I've been watching it from the very beginning, so it's nice to finally get to do the thing.
You do amazing things. And look, I just want to start by talking about, what you've been doing in lockdown. How's that cake been going for you?
Well, I mean, lockdown's been interesting. It's obviously with everything shutting down, a lot of our production shut down, and that was a crazy time. It was, having to deal with everything on the fly, and then everything just kind of quietening down while we all tried to figure out what lockdown meant, especially for all our productions. It meant that I went down to 1 day a week, which was huge. And when I am pretty much on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So going down to that was nuts. But then I also picked up another day helping write fun newsletters to keep people inspired during COVID, little fun things that they could do. And weirdly, the one thing that I realized about myself is that I like to be active. I just like to get out and be moving the whole time. So lockdown for me was heaps of going for long walks, doing some Pilates, dancing to YouTube clips, doing gym things online. And yeah, it was weird, but I didn't know that's what I'd do, but I did.
But this is why I'm trying to be a little bit facetious when I say, how's the cake? Because for those of you that don't know this lady, not only is she, a ball buster in her job, but this lady knows how to focus the body. You have what we call a ripped physique because you work hard at it. So, as you said, you used this time not only to, you kept working, obviously, but you have found a new interest. Pilates is something that you've really thrown yourself into, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I did beforehand. I did reformer Pilates a lot, but obviously in lockdown in my own house, I had a mat and I just went on and did YouTube clips, really enjoyed it, loved the different teachers out there and the different ways that you can move your body. So I decided to train to be an instructor while in lockdown.
Yeah, not much. I feel like you're slacking a little bit.
I love it though. It's so much fun. So much fun.
Well, this is what we've been talking about for the whole of 2020 and through this terrible time. It's about pivoting. And people are about to smack me in the face, I know, because I keep saying pivoting. They're like, shut up! But it's all about that pivot.
Well, and I was also lucky enough, I guess lockdown's going to end up having a massive memory for me because I got engaged during lockdown.
Love is in the air everywhere. That's excellent. You see, it's good news for good people. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look, coming back to talking about romance and working on romance shows. What's it like to do to work on a PR TV juggernaut like the Bachelor franchise?
Amazing. I've been lucky enough. I mean, I came to Australia to work with the Bachelor franchise and have stuck around. The one thing I'm lucky enough is that my workplace is kind of, and you would know because you've been a part of it, is a massive family. So we work bloody hard, but at the same time, we kind of go through everything together. And it's working on a show like that, you learn a lot about yourself, and also you learn about the dynamics of like a massive crew, lots of people being on the show. I love it.
Well, so just in terms of, sorry, I'm coming back to you. Just in terms of your job, I think it's quite important for us to talk about what a publicity and communications manager does. So can you tell us a bit about what that role is? Because usually we're talking about producing. I think this is a really beautiful side of the industry. So tell us more.
I mean, I think the most obvious thing for people to see, like a tangible part of my job, is seeing the stuff that you see in the media. So all the magazines, the photos. We have a photographer on set who takes all those beautiful photos of the participants in the show, of the set, and that stuff gets used in the media. I help facilitate the interviews with the network and obviously make sure that these newbies who have never done anything like being on a television show, be around. I help them feel comfortable so that they're able to express themselves in those interviews in a way that they feel comfortable getting the message that they want across.
So really what you're doing is representing contributors and talent. Sometimes we don't like to use that word, but I don't see anything wrong with it. We are dealing with very talented people sometimes. But contributors, contestants, they need the support of the publicity team before, during, and after the shoot. Is that right?
Absolutely. And we're there from the very beginning, from the first day that they come to us before they go and start filming. We're there briefing them, making sure that they have a full understanding of what they're about to do. And then right from the beginning, I have talks to them about, what they're excited about, what they feel comfortable about, what they're a little bit nervous about or uncomfortable about. And I'm kind of their person the whole way through, because once they leave the show, there's always a bit of downtime before it's on television. And so I'm their person if they've got any questions, they're unsure about anything. And we also have a really great support system for them, because it's a new adventure, it's exciting, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on. So we have a wellness advisor, we have a psychologist, we have a huge support system. Myself and the network are all looking out for them to make sure that they have the best experience they can.
Yeah. Okay. So I can tell you work in publicity, because that was such a publicity answer. Busted. Word for word, brilliant, gold. Didn't move off the script, didn't veer off the plan. I love it. No, I'm only joking. I'm pulling your leg. The truth of the matter is, there's been so much controversy around the way contributors and contestants experience the journey of television. And I've done quite a few interviews. I did one for The Guardian, one for Mamma Mia, several interviews about reality TV contributors and contestants and how they're treated by production. And I've always been really, really strong on knowing that my intentions and all the producers I know are all about taking care of whoever is on our show and ensuring that their experience is the best and ensuring that they come out with having given it a really red hot go to achieve the goals that they're looking for. So, as I say, there is a lot of controversy around how contributors are treated. Are they employees? What is our duty of care before, during, and after? And what I do know is that you spearheaded a wellness program at Warner Brothers, and that really has been pivotal, very important in taking care of people.
Well, the big thing is especially on a reality show, you've got normal people that are coming in into an experience where they are going to be out of their comfort zone and they are going to learn a lot about themselves, which, to be honest, I think is one of the most exciting things about it, is that irrelevant of what the prize is or what you get at the end or how far you go in a show, the one thing you will get without a doubt, and I would say it's on any television show, the one thing you get out of it is that you will learn about yourself and you will learn about how you deal with certain circumstances, how you deal when you're in a situation that maybe you're not used to, how you deal with being around people that maybe aren't the kind of people that you usually hang out with. And I think for some people that can be a little confronting. I think we all have our own perception of what we're like, and some of us are more self-aware than others of what we are and how we come across to other people. And I think some people go into that experience and absolutely thrive and love the challenge and being out of their comfort zone and learning about themselves. And other people, I think, sometimes come out a little surprised at how they end up dealing with situations. And when they see themselves and see it back, it's different to when you're part of it and how you feel things are going. And so, yeah, there does need to be a lot of support because people are dealing with real emotions and real feelings and a lot of self-discovery. And so it's, really important that we're there from the beginning, during, and well afterwards to be there as a support and to provide as much necessary support and guidance as we can once they've come out the other side.
Yeah. Well, there's no point making shows if we don't keep people safe. That's how I feel. I am a huge advocate for pushing that forward, and whatever it takes is whatever it takes. If it means that the budget is slightly higher because we're taking care of people, then so be it.
I mean, yeah, and they have access throughout, like whether it's myself, like I say, I'm there the whole way through. They have my phone number. They can call me, text me, and they do at all hours of the night. And I'm there to help and support them. But obviously, I'm not a qualified counsellor or mental health expert. I've done training, but by all means, I'm not fully, qualified. I'm not a psychologist. So we do have those options too. But one thing we have learned is a lot of the time people just want someone there to listen to them. It doesn't have to necessarily be someone that's qualified. It's great when they do use those services, but if they don't and it's me or someone else, all of our crew are getting trained so that they are confident and being able to support people and answer the right things and say the right things and make it so that people feel supported and heard.
Well, that's what's important, isn't it? Like, it's to understand what somebody's going through during that process. So if you're on a dating show, there are huge expectations. There are huge challenges ahead. And of course, that's part of the entertainment we're creating. There have to be challenges. Otherwise, who would watch?
And also, there's only one person at the end for a love show. A lot of the time, there can only be one person that's fallen in love at the end, or two people together fallen in love. And that means that, you are going to maybe walk away a little bit disappointed. But if you can look back and see the growth or what you've learned about yourself, or, take something away from the experience and the fact that you're one of very few people in the world that will ever have that experience, then I think, you walk away lucky. So
I just wanted to talk a little bit about the role that you do and how you got to where you are, because there's no one way of getting to a career path in telly, is there?
I mean, there probably is. I remember when I was a kid, it'd be like, you need to go to uni, and once you do uni, you do this, and then you do this. And I've never been one to do the full, I don't like to necessarily follow the rules. I did a communications degree at university. I finished and was like, unsure what I want to do with this. I knew I loved the communications aspect, but then I was in a car and heard do you think you could do this? And it was for a diploma in broadcasting to be a radio announcer. And so—
Hold on, you have to do that again.
No.
Please, I'm begging you.
Do you think you could do this? And I was like, yes, I can.
Yes, I can.
Went home and I was actually retelling my mum the story the other day, and she was just like, do you know how horrified I was that you came home and were like, so I'm doing something else, I'm going to do another thing, I'm not doing a job yet, I'm going to go do more study. But did a diploma in broadcasting, was so lucky to straight out of radio school become a radio announcer. And I did that for 5 years. So I was I did the news for breakfast show, and then I was the 10 till 2 the day girl, and I absolutely loved it. And then after that, I moved and I was a communications lecturer for a bit, and I also did place students in hotels around the world, and then decided to have a bit of a change. So then I was a communications consultant for an investment company. And then I decided I wanted to get into PR. And if I can give advice to anyone, is that don't listen, that you need to start from the beginning again if you want to try and start somewhere, because I already was quite established in my career, but I decided I wanted to get specifically into PR. And I called recruitment agents and was like, this is what I want to do. And they said, well, you're going to have to start from the beginning. You're going to have to be a junior, right down the bottom, work your way up. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And I like the money I'm on, thank you very much. So I actually researched different PR companies. I found one that I absolutely loved, and I rang them up, badgered them a couple of times and said, hey, will you have a coffee with me? They were like, I don't have a job for you. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I just want a coffee. Eventually they had the coffee, and before the chat, just want you to know, do not have a job for you. I was like, got it. And chatted with this lady for, I think, 45 minutes. And at the end, she was like, damn it, I want to have a job for you. So she said to me, can you leave it with me? But if I get you a job, I want you to promise me that if I want you back, you're going to quit that job and you're going to come and work for me. So I did. I went for a job with a colleague of hers, got into a advertising agency, PR company. who were actually establishing the first New Zealand shopping channel.
Oh, yes. I've worked on a shopping channel too. Isn't that amazing? We've all got a little bit of shopping channel in us. Anyone else? Anyone else?
The shopping channel, very original. So brought Eva Longoria over for the launch of that, which was amazing. And then the editor of Women's Day said, you should be an entertainment publicist. I didn't even know really what that was. And so she was like, leave it with me. And then on the Monday, I had an interview for a job as an entertainment publicist. And that's kind of where this side of what I'm doing in communication started.
Fantastic. I mean, what a journey. And here you are working your socks off for some of the biggest brands. How does it feel to be on call all the time? Because you pretty much are. You're answering questions at crazy times, in crazy ways, and putting out fires and carrying and catching people.
I mean, it's good. It's good. I mean, it has its moments. So sometimes I would like to not be attached to my phone, which is why I really love the Christmas period where, quietens down a little bit because I am essentially on call all the time. And, sometimes it gets a little tiring when you're, 3, 4, 5 shows down in a year and there's been a lot going on. And because I'm part of the production process and when it's on air, it can be quite an extended period of time that you're dealing with one show while underneath there's another show in production and another show in production. So it's full on. Sometimes can feel a little thankless, but at the same time, I've got a really supportive workplace. So my boss is amazing and is really supportive. So, when there's times where I'm like, oh my God, he's always a person to talk to. But I also like being there though for participants if they are having a moment or they're unsure, or I like that I'm able to help them because I do have the experience of being there before with many other participants. So yeah, it's good. Sometimes feels thankless, but other times hugely rewarding.
Yeah, but that's any job, isn't it? Any job sometimes feels thankless. Actually, the majority of jobs are thankless. If you think about it, if we were all completely fulfilled and thanked and raised in the way we should be, none of us would be whinging, would we?
Is though I have like great stories, but I can never tell them because
it's all confidential. Exactly. So actually, I just have to share with our wonderful friends. Even Megan was like, "I'd love to come on, but I can't say anything about anything." I said, "I know. Don't you worry about it. We'll get it out of you."
I become very good at being able to answer without answering. So
yes, you do. Yeah, you do. So, okay, it's Christmas coming up. What are you going to be doing? What will you be cooking for Christmas? Will you be cooking? I hope you'll be cooking.
Normally I go home to New Zealand for Christmas and sob. Obviously, borders not properly open without quarantine. But there'll be a lot of FaceTiming with my family. Usually I'm the dessert maker. So I might be doing that this year. But I'm actually looking forward to also breaking the mold of what Christmas looks like because, like I say, this is my first year ever without my mum and sister for Christmas. But I'm going to do it a different way. So, lots of FaceTiming. Gonna have maybe
you'll be with your fiance.
Champagne breakfast on the beach, maybe. And then I think we've been designated. I'm going to see my cousin, and we've been designated prawns on the barbie, which is such an
nice. Nice. I bloody love it, mate.
Yeah. So I think we're in charge of prawns, and I'll probably do a few little. I love baking, so a little gimmicky baking Christmassy thing, I'm sure.
Oh, lovely. I can see you in a penny. See you in a penny in a little heart. Do you know, speaking of prawns, do you know that that's actually a horrible phrase for an unattractive lady?
I've also
a tasty body, not so pretty head.
Right. Okay.
Just, full of learnings. This show, How to Come Out on Top, is full of nuggets of wisdom. And that's what I'm here to provide. Megan, is there any advice that you want to give to people who are thinking of not only entering the industry, but taking the path of publicity and communications?
I would say do it if you want to do it. You've got to be a people person. You've got to be able to be confidential. If you're a terrible holder of secrets, then this is probably not the job for you. Confidential, be able to say a lot of answers without saying an answer so people feel satisfied and stop asking you who the winner is or what happens in something or what was the goss by this person. I think tangible skills are the most important thing though. Initiative is so important. If someone applies for a job with me, I always say the location, but if they ask me the address and I know it's something they could Google, then it's like an instant, I know that they're I think, people person, but not people pleaser. You've got to be strong, be able to stand by your conviction, be ready to be supportive. And also for anyone, not just communications, but if you're going for a job, my big thing that I used to tell all my students was that you don't want to tick every box. So if you go into a job interview and they say, look, you seem really great, but you can't do this and this, say, I know, and I'm excited about that. And that's why I'm applying for this job, because I can't wait to learn these few things and walk out of here or continue here an even more experienced, better person. Like, you always want to be challenged. So I'd say, transferable skills, communication skills have got to be good, oral and written. Use spell check, that would be helpful.
Okay, now these are all your gripes, huh? Now these are all your gripes.
They're in there. It's a press a button.
And do you ever get to work with anybody who wants work experience or anything like that? I mean, it's a bit tricky in our industry, isn't it?
It is tricky. I mean, I think the confidentiality side makes it a little bit tricky for what we do. And saying that, I've had some amazing assistants that have come through who I absolutely love, and I love seeing them grow. And I think, I guess back to what I did when I was interested in PR, if you're interested in a role, even if the place doesn't have a job, and look, we do get busy, but ask if someone's available, even for a half an hour coffee, just to like pick their brains or get a little bit of advice, because, people have a wealth of information out there and they may not have a job, but this industry is all about the people you know. And so they might not have something, but they might know someone that does, or the next time they are looking for someone, something might just come up and they're like, I remember actually I had that great coffee with someone and they were interested, they were asking great questions. I wonder what they're doing now, and you never know where it might lead.
Are you ready for 2021?
Yes, I am.
I'm pretty ready. Because this has got goodbye. We were discussing this the other day, that maybe 2020 will be like level 13 in hotels. It won't exist.
You know what though? The one thing I would say about 2020 is, it's been a year that's taken us all by surprise, and some people have had it really rough. But one thing it's definitely, and for me personally, has made me look at, what I was doing with my life, what parts of it do I want to continue with, what bits am I actually happy to leave in 2020. I mean, I think work-life balance is hugely important, nourishing the family and friends relationships that you have, rather than maybe always dashing here and there and being on your phone, says the person who's always on call. But, having the time to just FaceTime people, and I don't mean, FaceTiming like this, I mean, sitting there and actually being present and giving people the importance of actually, spending time with them and being there genuinely for them, not rushing and dashing. I kind of have liked that everything's slowed down a little bit and we've had a bit of time to reflect.
I totally agree. And David Sue agrees. He says, love a bit of self-care.
Yes, David.
Yes,
Absolute
David loves
David Sue.
What was that?
Absolute legend. Hard work.
Legend. Legend, David. When are you coming on this show? Anyway, Tracy also says hello. Well, she doesn't say hello. She says, great question, Yana, which was for a question I asked a little while ago that I didn't read out. So, I like being one of those people that goes, hi, Tracy, hi, Dave, and doesn't really read the message. Oh, my God. Listen, we've come to the end of our broadcast. How did it go? How do you feel, Megan?
Yeah, good. It went quick.
It does, doesn't it?
It shows how much of a chatterbox I am.
Look, you wouldn't be doing what you do if you weren't a consummate communications lady, a woman with gusto and power, and you know how to cut a word. You know how to put a sentence out there to spread a message. That's you. Megan Stuart. What a legend and what a star you've been. Thank you so much for joining us and being fabulous.
Thank you, Yana. Thank you for having me.
Ah!
Merry Christmas, everyone, too.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yeah, and bring on 2021. Bring on whatever that brings. And yeah, I feel like it's going to be a goodie.
I think it definitely will be. We'll make it a goodie. It's going to be sparkling and fantastic, full of joy and gifts. That's what I'm going for anyway.
Good vibes.
Thank you so much, Megan. Bye. That was the glorious, spectacular Megan Stuart. She's a big cheese, guys, like cheese. Like one of those big wheels of Edam. That's how I would describe her. Now, I hope she doesn't take that as an offense. I'm not saying you're cheesy, Megan. I'm not saying that. But you're like a big cheese that I can hug and nibble on occasionally. Anyway, everybody, that's the end of episode 3 of Season's Salutations. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, put yourself out there. There've been so many incredible gigs that are coming through. New shows are being made. Incredible new content. Don't worry. If you're not working yet, if you haven't found your gig, don't worry. Number 1, we still run courses to help you upskill, sidestep, re-enter the industry. Stay positive, okay? If you're in lockdown, don't forget, just fill your tummy with Christmas spirit. That's my, that sounds wrong, doesn't it? You know what I'm trying to say? The joy of Christmas. Fill yourself up with the joy of Christmas. I've got my Christmas tree up. I played Christmas songs in the bathroom this morning. My husband thinks I'm mad. Nothing to do with the Christmas songs. But, let's stay positive. Let's keep ourselves upskilled and let's keep ourselves pushing forward. 2021 will smash it. Next week will be our last show of 2020. And have I got a sack of presents for you? So make sure you tune in next week, Wednesday, 4:00 Sydney time. It's going to be marvelous. So we'll have a special guest. We'll have some other gifts. We're also running, by the way, what do you think about this? An online Spark Hub. So it's an opportunity to network. Maybe get a gig. I don't know. Maybe talk about how wonderful life is with a little cup of mulled wine, all online. You don't have to be anywhere. And we'll try and do that next week. We'll see how we go. Stay posted or stay tuned for information. I'll stop babbling. Just check out the website, bloomtimemedia.com. Email info@bloomtimemedia.com. And go to our YouTube channel, which now has 9 followers. We're going really, really well, people. Anyway, we love you. Thank you to Megan Stuart, Warner Brothers Publicity and Communications Manager, to family and friends around the world, to you for watching, for supporting, for being strong and pushing through 2020. We've nearly got this, people. Stand out and be outstanding. I'll see you next week.